Hi all, welcome to today's session of Studio Reports, which will be 60 minutes approx, followed by 15 minutes for Q&A. Attendees may write their queries or questions in Q&A section, which will be answered by our panelists. Intellicus Studio is a report design tool of Intellicus web-based reporting solution. Intellicus Desktop Studio helps in designing canned reports and pixel perfect reports, which are generally business critical operational reports. Intellicus Studio can be developed in two different environments. Intellicus Web Studio. This can be accessed through the browser from Intellicus portal. Intellicus Desktop Studio. This can be installed on any window-based machine. Both web and desktop versions have similar user interface. Canned reports. These are pre-formatted reports distributed across wide audience or to specifically defined user groups. These types of reports are traditionally scheduled for delivery at specific times of the day or accessible anytime through the web portal. Whereas pixel perfect reports are which can be formatted down to individual pixel level. Pixel perfect reports are mainly designed to be printed or formatted for complex reporting requirements, such as fitting an existing text or regulatory document. Few examples of reports designed using Intellicus Studio are business proposals, bank statements, company balance sheets, analysis reports, invoices, YTD statements, purchase orders, and so on. Reports designed in Intellicus, it's like a template which is used to store report design and the database related information. This is then read by the report server to generate actual reports with data. Connecting to report server, Intellicus Desktop Studio communicates with Intellicus report server on specific IP and port number. If it doesn't find server running at that IP or port, then instead of launching Studio, it launches report client configuration dialog box. Provide the IP and port number in respective controls and then click on the test button. Once the test is successful, then test connection successful, this message appears. And here, once you click on OK, then you will be redirected to Desktop Studio Designer. To log in into Desktop Studio, you have to mention your login name, your password, specify the password associated with the login name that you have specified. Organization. From the available options in the drop-down box, select the organization under which the login name allotted to you is created. Local. It identifies a specific language and geographic region. In Intellicus, local affects portal language, sorting, date time formats, numbers, and currency formats as well. From the drop-down, select the desired local. Then time zone. In Studio, value of time zone will affect date and time value outputs during preview of report output. From the drop-down, select the desired time zone. By default, it will be choosing the default set at preferences or org level. Then we can design studio reports using Wizard. It provides an easy to use tabbed interface to create a report. If your report is simple, tabular, or form, having a lot of components on it, it is always a good idea to start designing a new report using Report Wizard. A report does not have charts, cross-tab, sub-report component can entirely be designed using Wizard. Whereas if a report is having chart, cross-tab, and sub-report components in it, then it's nice idea to use the Wizard for some of the activities of designing the reports. It provides us different tabs, which are report types, SQL source, fields, groups, total, style, and sub-report. We can select different types of reports depending upon our use case. For example, simple, wherein a free from report can be designed according to our use case. There is no predefined format or layouting is provided. When we talk about tabular, it is a self-aligned, pre-formatted bordered tabular report with aligned captions and summaries for groups. Whereas when we are talking about form, so you will be able to see one record wherein the layout will be in such a way that on the left aligned, you will be getting caption and all the summaries and value. These controls will be aligned towards the right. SQL source. It is used to mention the underlying query object, or if you want, you can design a new query altogether using SQL Designer. When we go to SQL Designer, we get different options, which are select the objects. When we are talking about objects, these means the database objects which are sourced from the RDBMS to which the connection is pointing. It may be table, view, procedure, or synonym. We may source our report by fetching the data using procedure. Just execute the procedure and the data which is written by the procedure will be used by the report. In case of table, select the desired table or view as it's a virtual table, or we can use synonym. So these options are there to select the data. Then using design tab, we can design the query by using more than one tables. Just place the tables on the designer area, and then by drag and drop, you can create link in different tables. There are options using which you can give filters, you can give criteria using where clause, group by, having, order by. So basically, these are different phrases of select query. So this designer helps even novice to SQL to design a query by providing different options out here. All right. So even a person who is not comfortable with writing queries can select the objects, and using the UI present out here, he or she can create a query. So according to the options provided here in Designer, the underlying query would be generated. We have already seen such Designer in query object session. Then fields. When we talk about fields, we get fields which are sourced by our query object on which report can be designed. But in case report needs some columns which are not there, which are not provided by the query object, then formula fields can be created. If we want, while executing the report, we want user to give some inputs, we can use parameter objects. So these parameters will also be used to fetch the data. Then we have some system parameters. These system parameters provide us values like username, with which user have you logged in, report type, what report type you want to be generated. We can we can use all these, right? Report format, system date, system time, local, all these details can be showcased in the report using system parameters. These are provided by the tool. Then next is group. A report can be grouped depending upon the required fields. From the fields listed on the left hand, we can select the required columns on which grouping is to be performed. When we select more than one group, say here I have got segment and region, we can set the order of the groups as to which is the major group and which is the minor. So every group can also be started from a new page. I'm having 4 regions, say south, east, west, right? So when the region changes, I want the data to be showcased from the new page. So we can choose this checkbox provided out here. Using that, when the value of the grouped column changes, it will be started from the new page. So this is the use of next page, right? And by using these arrow keys, we can change the order of the groups. We can set any group as major or minor depending upon our use case. Then when we are having the group, the next thing comes is showcasing the summary. So select the field that you want to sum up. Not only sum up, we can use any statistical function like sum, minimum, maximum, average, right? And so on, depending upon our requirement. So summary function is to be selected, which is to be applied on the field, the value field, right? And then we have options for grand total, page total. Grand total will be at end of the report, page total when the page changes. Then we have got group totals. So suppose I am having 3 groups and I want to show total only for the outermost group. That is possible. Just select the checkbox for the group for which you want summary to be calculated and displayed in the report. Then style. We can add style effects, page numbering, borders to the report. When we talk about gradient effect, suppose we are having 3 groups, say country, state, and city. So according to these location details, suppose we want to showcase product-wise sales. Now, as we are having these 3 groups, we can give gradient effect that outermost group would be little darker according to the shades selected, and the inner group, will be lighter. This is how gradient effect will show the impact on the group headers and group footers. Now, when we have multiple groups, we want the groups to be indented. Indent is nothing but the offset of the rows from the margin. So inner group would be having little more margin, and this is the way it would be arranged. Then we can also apply border to the data items showcased on the report. Page number, as the name suggests, if this option is selected at the bottom of every page, we will be able to see page number. By default, Intellica shows both the things, current page number as well as total number of pages. So it shows like this, 2 of 10. This is the default format, which can be modified according to our requirement. Then sub-reports. In case we want to show some data in the report which is sourced by a separate query object. Then we can go ahead and select a sub-report, which will be sourced by another query object, and wherein we can insert some existing report or some new report. We can also design a new sub-report in the parent report, or we can opt to choose some existing report as a sub-report depending upon our use case, right? And then when we are going to work with the studio reports, we get some options there on the canvas. Like we have got different sections. We have got Explorer, which is showing us different sections. And when you expand, it will show you the components placed in that particular section. On the right-hand side, you can see properties pane, right? So property pane will be showing us the properties of selected section, okay? And we can add the section. For example, I'm having page header, page footer, detail section. Detail is going to show individual reports from the underlying data source. Then we can add report header, report footer, right? Report header is nothing. It will be showcased on the first page and report footer at the end. Then we can add group header and group footers also, as many, depending upon the design, what we are expecting to achieve in the report output. Then we have, as we have discussed, different sections: report header, report footer, page header, page footer, and group header and group footer. Then we have got detail section. So this section, what you select, the properties of that section would be showcased in the properties pane, right? For example, for group, I can select whether to start from new page, what will be the field which is sourced for the group. So we are going to learn it when we design the report. And then these are the controls on the toolbars, what you can insert on your report. Like I can have label, text field, we can have checkbox, right? Barcode, so many controls are there, cross steps, charts, sub-report, and which we can insert on the report according to the report design. Rendering in section property. Basically, this is the property when the controls are placed in page header section. So when we place controls in page header section, we can opt to select whether to show that particular component on the top, that is on the top of the report when page starts, or we want to show that particular thing in the grid caption, right? Just with the grid caption. So that option is also very useful. That we will see when we design the reports. This is how. This is just an example. If you see here date and time, it is showcased with grid captions. This is caption header. And here date and time is showcased in page header. It will be coming on top of every page, right? So this is achieved due to rendering in caption property. Then as we have seen that desktop's version of the Intellicus Studio is also there. So when we design any report in Desktop Studio, it will be saved locally on some folder, on some directory. So we can download the report from portal and save it there. And the report what we have designed in the studio, we can upload. So upload will upload the report to the report server by selecting any existing category. On the contrary, when we download the report, so the report will be downloaded from the category of the server to local storage. This is how it differs. So let us design a report using Wizard, and then we will be creating a report without using Wizard, and we will be covering different types of controls and scripting also, which can be achieved through Studio. So now we are going to design a report using Wizard. So I'm going to start Desktop Studio. Presently, I have placed the icon for Desktop Studio on the taskbar, and it can be selected from the menu, our Windows menu. I have Intellicus. Within this, you have got report client configuration, what I was talking to check in case the server to which it is pointing, if it doesn't work, then this dialog box is showcased and we can test whether it is working. And once the test is successful, we can launch Desktop Studio. And we can start the same from here, right? I'm going to give credentials out here. These are the options, what we were talking about. This is the first screen of Desktop Studio. It is asking us to create a new report using Wizard or without using Wizard. So I'm using a Wizard. If you cancel it out here, you can, this is a button to create a new report with Wizard, right? So I'm creating a report using retail sales data, and I'm trying to create a report showcasing region-wise sales. And the query object, what I'm going to use is already created. QO Superstore. From here, I can select the fields. I'm selecting order date, sales, and then I'll be taking category, subcategory, product name, and then I'll take name of the customer. Okay. And then I can set the order, customer name, and then I want product in this way, like I have category, subcategory, product name, and then sales. I'm going to add the group out here, region. I can add more than one group, say segment. And as I was talking about major and minor, now segment is major and region is minor. You can change the order. You can opt to select whether to start the group from the next page. If you don't want this particular group, remove it. I want to have region-wise sales. Taking summary, select the column on which you want to have summary. Summary functions, by default, it is sum. We can select different statistical functions provided to us from the list, right? I'm taking sum. I want to show grand total and group total. Style, we can select gradient effect in case we have multiple groups, but presently I'm having single group only. I'm taking page number. And then sub-report we will be seeing further. Our report is designed. And you can see I have got sales in detail section, then group footer, and then I have got in report footer as well. I'm going to upload, I'm going to save this report. Okay, say I'm going to save it as RPT sales. The report is saved. You can preview it here also. And then you may switch to design mode. And now I'm going to upload this report. I'm uploading this report to training category, report, and I'm going to save it as RPT sales. I'm going to portal now. I'll open the report, what we have created. But one thing I observe that I'm able to see only 4 columns out here. Further columns are there on the next page. Now I want to edit this report. I'll go to Explorer, right? And then I'm going to modify this report. When you modify this report out here, you can go to page setup, printer settings. I'm taking custom size. Width I'm setting to 20,000. See, this is how I'm having reports. Width is increased. Now I want that sales, what I have. I want to give output format. You know, the control, what you select, the properties of that particular control will be coming here. And all the controls which are created are having meaningful name. And usually this notation is called Hungarian notation. TXT means text. When you are having a label, it will be LBL, label. Checkbox CHK. So we should give meaningful name to the controls so that when you are using these controls in your script, then it will be easy for you to identify. You won't have to come to designer again and again and see which control is for what purpose. Now I'm going to mention data size as number and then output format. I'm taking number, 2 decimal places, and then comma separator. Right? In the same way, I can set properties of other 2 controls as well. I'm going to, and one more thing, I can select both the controls together, go to properties rather than setting again and again. I'll go to output format, number, taking 2 decimal places. And now if I preview this report, now you are able to see all the controls, you know, all the fields in one page because we have increased the width, decimal places. This is what we have applied now. And this is a toolbar, you know, we can use this toolbar for different purposes. First is TOC, it is table of contents. If I expand this, you will be able to see there are 4 regions, central, east, south, and west. It helps us in easy navigation as well. If I click here on west, directly I have come to page number 137 from which the details for west region begins. And this is how you can navigate. So table of contents. Then Excel, PDF, CSV, you have got text, raw text format, Word, PowerPoint. These are different formats. In this, the report can be exported. So you can click here and it is asking you, you want to have pagination or not. You can export this report according to the requirement. You can set the options. The report would be exported. See, the report is exported. And you can open it and see. This is how it looks in Excel. Now you will be finding that the output in Excel is starting from column B. But I want to start from column A. Now let us come back to the designer. Now let us walk through some properties for Excel, which are Excel column, call span. If you want merge cells, you can give call span. I want 2 call span of 2. Like similarly, you have for row. You want to set some headers. And the way it is showcased on the report, you want it should be showcased same when it is exported to Excel. So we can give Excel row, Excel column, and call span properties as well. Call span and row span. Call span is horizontal merge and row span is vertical merge. So for order date, region, and these three, I want to have column A. And for these two, I want to have column B. For category, I want to have column C. Product name, I want to have column D. Selecting sales and giving the Excel column as E and save it. Refresh this. You can refresh this report from here. Now I'm exporting it. So Excel properties are very important. Now we can open the report and now we'll find that the output exported to Excel start from column A, right? Subcategory I didn't save, I didn't mention, so it is coming there. So this is how it works, right? Now next. When I'm going to Desktop Studio, and let us open that report again. So I need to download. Download is nothing but from portal, select a particular category and select the report, download it. See, if I go to page setup, this is a property what we had set, height and width, right? So whatever settings we have done there, when we download, we are able to see updated report in Desktop Studio as well. So this is how we can design a report using Wizard. We can design report without using Wizard also, right, in Desktop Studio. I'm going to close this report now. And starting a new report and taking blank. So now we have maps also in Desktop Studio. So if you want to have map component, it's there in desktop version. It is in pipeline to introduce the same in Web Studio, right? So I'm going to insert section, report header and footer. You can select a control and mention height as well. From here, from properties, or you can drag it. So I'm going to create a report having country-wise sales. Give a suitable name to the control. Okay. A to Z will show all the properties alphabetically. LBL title. Okay. And then you can give caption. Label has caption property. Text field has text property, right? So I'm going to show country-wise sales and select it. Center aligned, you can get it bold and you can do other formattings as well. Now I'm going to insert map component. Going to properties, mentioning connection name. See, you can set it group wise and alphabetically. So I have mentioned the name of the connection and then selecting data source. Then area field, country. I want to show world countries. start color, end color, and the value field, sales, and the summary function. Sum, average, these are statistical function, according to which it would be computed and showed on the report. And then I'm going to save this. And then you can see preview here as well. And then upload also. I'm going to upload it. I'll come to portal. Closing this report. Refresh it. Now I'm able to see the report I have uploaded. Report RPT country-wise sales. It is interactive map. If you hover, you will be able to see the values on the basis of which it is having these shades, light to dark. And you can, this was for India, and then, so this is our map, mmap, which is introduced in Desktop Studio. You can view the report in web versions. You can see the report output in on the portal using Web Studio also, right? But design has to be done using Desktop Studio for Mac component. Now, let us design a report without using Wizard in a web version, that is on our portal. Go to Navigate, Design, and select Studio Report. The report what we have planned to create is product-wise sales. We have product-wise sales data. Based on that, we are going to design the report. Okay, so I'm going to SQL, selecting the query object. The query object what I'm planning to use is product-wise sales. Product sales data. Once you select the query object, in the field list, you will be able to see the fields which are sourced by that particular query object. Select the field and drag it in the required section. I am going to drag it in the detail section. Okay, and then you can change the width. Control and click. You can select more than one controls and you can set it. So these are the columns what I want to have on my report. See, this red line shows that this is the width of the page. The width of the actual report, if it crosses, it will go to the next page. Okay, so we should make it sure that the components are placed within the mentioned width. Okay, if you want, you can add one more field. Let us try that. Let's pull in manufacturer. And if you want to set the width, you can set it from property dialog box also. Okay. See. Now, if you want to set the position of the controls which are placed in page headers, select control and click select. You can drag and set the position, or you can use property also. I'm going to set top property now. Right? I want to insert page footer. And there I want to have page numbers. Apart from this, I want to have report header and footer. You can. I'm taking a label and giving LBL title and caption as product wise sales. Set the properties. Right? Now, if you apply back color, say I'm going to apply back color, right? And here it is normal. Now, the thing is, apart from this, if you want to add some groups, select it, insert, section, group header and footer. Now I have got group header. Select the group header, give meaningful name, say group header GH, product line. And for group footer, I'm naming it as GF, group footer, product line. Select the field which is going to source this group. So I want it based on product line. So product line is there. Okay. Now I want, if you want it to be started from new page, you can set it from here. And then this product line value, I want to show here in the group header. So every caption, you know what comes, it comes with a tag that this control is there in detail section. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm selecting this control and removing the tag property, that now I am not going to place that control in detail section. I'm going to remove it from here and placing it here in the group header. I want sales to be showcased in the group footer. Copy and paste. Now select this sales field. If you see the properties with this control, data field is sales value. Data type, you can mention number, you can mention output format as well. If the output format for the field is mentioned in the query object at format step, then we did not mention it here. It brings the settings from query object also. But here, if you mention the property, so this property will override the setting done in the query object. And this is the function, what I'm going to use sum for the group. Summary group is GH product line, summary running for group, and summary type is subtotal. This is the setting what we have to do for group summary. Now, if you want to show some caption over there, so you can place the caption. I'm just copying it to save time. Otherwise, I can add a label the way I added it in report header, right? So I'm giving the caption here as total. And now I want total at report level also. So I'm setting the caption as grand total. And again, I'm bringing this field. And then I'll come here. Set the details for aggregation. Okay. Summary running all. Subtotal, no, grand total. I want to have it as grand total. And then if you see this report, let us save this report. I'm going to save this report as You can preview it. Now, one thing you will be finding, this product category, it is showcased over there because I changed its property. I shifted it from one section to another. But I want to show this in grid caption. Okay, I'll go and one more thing. Category is coming here. I want the category along with this row. The first row of the inner group, I want it to be shown. First row of the inner group or the inner section. Now let us achieve this. Number one, the caption for product category is showcased on the page header. I want to show it in caption header along with grid. Okay, select it, go to properties. There is a property, render in section property. Render in section. I want to render this control in caption header. Number two, I want this group to underlay next. Okay, so there's a property underlay next. Yes. And then I want this value to be merge. Okay, merge and span throughout the group. Okay, I'll say merge and span true. I'll change the color. You will come to know the impact of this. Just to show you the effect, I'm changing the color of this control. Back style normal, because if I give back color and back style is transparent, so it will not be visible. See? So if you want to give back color, we should make it sure for text field, back style is normal. Now you are able to see back color. See, on transparent, you won't be able to see. Now let us see preview. See, it is coming underlay next section. Underlay next. I said true. So now it is coming with the first row of the inner group. Merge. See, this cell is merged for the particular group. And if I go there and for this cell, I say vertical alignment. See, this color is not looking good. I just taken this color to show you how the cell is merged. Right? This is the impact of merge and span. And on the group, we have used the property underlay next. Underlay next. If it is true, the value of that particular group column would be coming along with the first row of the inner group. This is how it works. So underlay next and merge and span. Now suppose in the same report, I want to show some charts. Possible? Now, if you'll be showing it in page header, so it will be coming on every page. And now I'm going to show it at the end of the report. And the data, I don't want to use this because it is having product-wise detail. And I'm planning to show here top 5 salespersons. Top 5 salesperson. So create a bound chart. I said no. I want unbound chart. Since it is unbound, I'm able to select the query object out here. Selecting the query object. Sorry. I have the data QO sales data, wherein I have got details of salesperson as well. Going to data mapping, I'm taking salesperson name on x-axis and sales value on y-axis. Data format, we can mention basically, if I'm having the date type of field and I'm going to show trend, if I want to show it month-wise, then from here I can select the level. Okay, so what format you want to apply? So that setting can be done here. Presently, that's not the case for our data. Going to settings, in general, I can show chart title. Top 5 sales persons. Effect, I don't want to have a 3D chart. Okay. And then I don't want any accumulation. Stacked bar, accumulated. I don't want presently. It is not required. Legends. So see, general settings. We have given the title for the chart. Now, as I want to show top 5, this is the margin details. I'm skipping it. I'm going to sales value, descending order, and top 5. We can go to series. By default, it is in multicolors. It is selected. Multicolors bar would be coming. I'll show it to you. Let us see preview. Multicolors bars are there. If you want to select a particular color, go to properties, series, uncheck this multicolor. Select the color for this field. Right? Now, suppose you want to showcase here location-wise sales for different categories, okay, or segments. You can add one more chart. Cancel it. Location, and each location I want to stack sales value based on segment or product line. I'm going to merge these values, not on separate bars, right? And then going to settings, title, wish to have it in form of column chart. Okay. Get it accumulated. And now let us see preview. This is stack bar chart, right? So there are so many properties what you can set. Go to axis. For each axis, x-axis, y-axis, you can set properties, scale, style. You can mention grid, threshold. Okay, so all these properties can be set the way we have already seen in other types of reports. Now, let us create a report with cross tab. I'm taking a new report, a new blank report. And let us give a title out here. I want to show, say, region-wise sales, okay, for different segments. So Okay, adding a cross tab out here. Before that, let us add query object. You can see the fields in the field list. As I mentioned, I'm planning to have region-wise cross tab. Click region and drop it on the row header. It needs practice. Then I want a segment on the column header. Let us have sales in the summary section. Presently, it is sum. Click here. In the property, you can see the function associated. We can change it. Sum, average, right? If you want to change the color, you want to give some style, you can change 4 color. Say I'm taking it to blue. Okay. Now let us see report. Just by a few steps, you can design a cross tab. Let me try it again. Make a separate for this. Let me reload it. There is some problem. Let us try to open the report with cross tab. Yeah. So this is how it comes, right? So I'll take you to the designer again. What we did, select the query object and then drag it. Let the query object get loaded properly and then just drag the fields at respective placeholders. And you can set property like select the placeholder for a particular section, and property window will be showing you properties of that particular component, right? This is how we can insert cross-tab. And now scripting. When we are talking about scripting in Studio, so one person should have knowledge of JavaScript, basic knowledge of JavaScript or any other language, even if C++ is sufficient. Okay, so navigate. I'm going to Studio Report. It's a fresh report what I'm taking here. Insert, section, report, sorry. Now here, let us select the query object, which is going to source this report. I'm having the details of people insured, and I'm going to show email IDs. So basically the purpose here is to show email IDs, email data. Okay, so caption I'm giving as email data. Okay, now I'm having one parameter, the value of which I show the parameter to you. The value of this parameter, there are two values, Yahoo and Google. I have just a sample data, and I want to associate the IDs with this. Like I'll be concatenating the names along with, say, at the rate of Yahoo, at the rate of Google, and so on. So this is what is a plan. So let us add a parameter to the report. Okay, import the parameter which is already there from the particular category. Select the parameter. Now the parameter is visible out here. Now I'm inserting two images. Say yeah. And let us give a meaningful name. Okay. And then adding one more image. Naming it as IMG Google. Okay. Left position 0. Now, what I want, rather than showing here email data, depending upon the value of parameter, I want the title of this report should be governed, either Google data or Yahoo data. And the image, the image, what is here? There are two images. So depending upon the parameter value, what the user is going to select, the image should be visible. So this is what we are trying to achieve. So I'm going to script section. The script, what I'm going to write is for which section? Report header. And there are different events. So I'm going to select on format event. To fetch the value from the parameter, I'll have to keep it somewhere. So I'm declaring one variable, say IMG, and trying to fetch value from the parameter rpt dot. See, whenever we are using this, it is basically following document object model, which is there in OOPS. So parent control, and then it has got methods, child control, and then methods. So the moment you press dot, you get the members which are exposed for this particular class. Fields within double quotes, I'm going to give the name of the parameter. Dot get value is the method. I repeat, RPT for this report, there are so many fields from which I'm going to use PRM image and fetching the value. The value what I'm fetching from this parameter, I'm going to store it in the variable IMG. Now I have to check what's the value of this variable. Say if IMG double equals to, because comparison is done with equals to is double equals to. Any block what you are writing, any set of commands, you can give in a block that is a pair of parentheses. This is the syntax what we have to follow. If this condition is true, then my true action will come here, else false action will come here. Okay. So here, what I want to do, I want to set the caption for that control, rpt dot section. The control is placed in report header section. What's the name of control? The name of the control is label1. What properties I'm trying to set? Caption. Yahoo data. Okay. Now I have to set visibility of these two images. Section. In report header, there are controls. I'm talking about Yahoo. Which property I'm going to set? Visible. As I said, I want to set it visible. True. Report header dot controls. Which control? Google. Which property? Visible. And I'm setting it to false. In case user selects 2. Shortcut. Copy paste. Google data. Yahoo. Visible false. And Google image. Visible true. And then you can click on compile. Compile. Suppose there is some mistake. And you click on compile. It will show it. It is going to show you there is error at line number this. Syntax error. Now you check. So when you are going to compile, it will check syntax error, not the logic. Okay. And then, okay, let's see the preview. If I select Google and run, will show me Google data and this image. And then if I change it and I run this with this Yahoo, and now you see Yahoo data and that image is visible. So this is how you have full freedom, you can add utmost of creativity, your logic, and you can get the reports designed. See how this complete report looks. I have got report header, this, and I have got email data. And on the top of that, if you see email ID is not there in the fields. I have got first name, last name, address. There is no email column that I have created. How? I'll show it to you. Which section I'm talking about? Let me show you again. Where is this text field placed? Details section. Okay. I'll go to script, details section. See, I've got the first name, last name. If it is 1, then first name underscore last name @yahoo.com. If it is 2, first name underscore last name Gmail. So fetch the value, store in variable, and then you can concat also. And I'm setting, there is a label. If you see, I'm going to show, but for this label, I've got a data element that is gender. I'll show you the script. I want to show different genders with some different formatting, just to test how does it look. So what I'm doing is changing the font name, color, whether you want to show it bold or not, and is bold. Similarly, you have got is italics, is underlined. So you can explore it more, right? So let us see this report. How does it look? Email ID is achieved through concatenating the first name and last name. And formatting is done based on the condition for gender, right? So this is how we can use a script to achieve any functionality. We can apply any business rule using this. And last but not the least, if you have got to insert some sub-reports, we have already seen how to design a report. Sub-report is nothing but the inserted in parent report. See, this is how it looks. In same report, it has got two parameters, start date and end date. I have got two charts. I'm showing channel-wise distribution, product-wise distribution, and then top customers I'm showing, top profitable products I'm showing, right? All this is achieved through these are chart components, and these two are sub-reports. I'll show it to you. See, this is my report header where I have placed the main title. Two charts are there. This is again label. There are two sub-reports. A sub-report is nothing but another report like we have designed. It is having a separate source. I can write the query, right? A separate query for this particular report. So the advantage of using sub-reports, using chart in Studio Reporters, using cross-tab, as you have seen, I was having different components in the same report. So you can source your report with multiple data sources, because it happens many a times you cannot bring in all the data in a single query object. So it helps, right? So this is how you can design reports in two versions of Intellicus Report Designer. Maybe you can use Web Studio or you can use Desktop Studio, right? So now let's move to Q&A session. And thank you so much for joining the session and being patient listener. Thank you.